Oh yes, you're welcome back to today's powerful broadcast. In fact, this issue concerning Neika Lolo and she said her name is Madame Pito. In fact, today's video is a very powerful video that in fact you need to watch it to the end for you to see and for you to understand what is really going on in Biafra land concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and concerning Simon Ekpa and the issue of Neka Lolo, Madame Pito, that went to Sokoto prison. Since the day he went to Sokoto and came back, he has been going around talking anyhow, doing a lot of things in the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, claiming that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the cause of insecurity in the southeast, and his men and his boys is causing a lot of things in the southeast, which at the first time when he was speaking, the first time he went to Sokoto prison, she came back and she was claiming that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is good, is that and this or that. But the second time and now, if you listen to what he's saying now, in fact, you'll be asking yourself, is it the same woman who is praising him before? Is the same woman that is saying these things this time around? In fact, in this video, this interview she granted with the radio of Nonsongwa, she said a lot of things in that video and in an interview with Nonsongwa. And Nonsongwa also is an activist. He interviewed Madame Pito, and in that interview, in fact, you find a lot of things concerning that Madame Pito and concerning the activities she is playing, because in that interview, in fact, Nonsongwa said a lot of things, and I would like you to watch it. Don't skip any part of it, because as the whole thing is happening, it is good. As things is going like this, let us bring the news so that people will understand the thing that is going on in Biafra land and in Nigeria. As about to watch, like, subscribe, and make sure you share it for everyone to see and to understand things happening in Biafra land.
Madame Pito, Ibonye IPOB.
I want money IPOB.
Ibonye ESN.
I want money ESN.
Ibonye Mazon.
I want money myself.
Kedu ijizi etinye anya n'ihe gbasatara ego maọbụ ka esi mefuo kpata ego IPOB ma Nnamdi Kanu ọkpụ n'isi o tinyere ụmụnne ya?
Ọ dị mma, n'oge ntụle nke abalị, ọ bụrụ na ị sonyere kpọmkwem, o nwere otu nwaanyị a na-akpọ Lolo Nneka, bụ onye ji nnọọ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu were na-akachi cruise na social media. O ji Mazi Nnamdi Kanu were na efesasị ọnụ na social media. Ọ joinigo ndị dịka udele na nke a na-akpọ nze tobe, na nke a na-akpọkwa keduva this boy from Uruagụ, na ọtụtụ ndị na-eji Mazi Nnamdi Kanu na-eme content na social media. Ndị dị otu a bụ ndị ọja adịla Igbo na-asụ Igbo gịnị mere unu, Igbo gịnị mere unu. Onye nke a bụ Lolo Nneka ka m jụrụ ajụjụ, wee jụọ ezigbo ajụjụ, nyopuo ya, wee chọpụta na nwaanyị enwere mgbe o ji bụrụ onye IPOB, mana ọ na-elenye anya kpọmkwem ihe na-eme na otu IPOB. Nwaanyị a bụkwanụ onye na-agakwanụ n'afọ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu na ụlọ mkpọrọ Sokoto. Mana ịmago, o nwere ike onwe mme ihe ọ chọrọ ka Mazi Nnamdi Kanu merie ihe. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu asị mba na ya eme ihe, amami na-aghọta, ma ọ bụ o nwere ihe ọ ga-achọ ka ọ bụrụ ta ga-esi hazie ihe ọjụ. Mana anyị na-anụ na ya bụ nwaanyị dị interested n'ịbụ onye ndu otu ahụ bụ IPOB. Wee chọpụta na ọtụtụ ndị bụ ndị otu ahụ na mba ofesi ekweghị na nke ahụ. O wee bụrụ ya na nwaanyị a nọ na-agakwa nnụ na Sokoto prison, adịkwa ama ya na Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wee na-afụ, amami na-aghọta. Ọ sị na ya wee journalist, na ya bụ onye nta akụkọ. Mana nta akụkọ ya baziri bịa nwee ka o siri wee dị na nwaanyị a na-akpọ Lolo Nneka wee werezie Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wee na-eme content. Achọrọ m ikwue ka m kwukwe ya ọzọ. abịa n'ala Igbo anyị taa, ndị anyị na-anaghị eji egwu adịkwa ama gee ntị. Ka m kwuo ya, ịma ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ ụjọ na-atụ ha ikwu maka Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Ọtụtụ ndị especially ndị ọrụ redio anyị, ụjọ na-atụ ha ikwu okwu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Ha emekwucha DSS eburu ha, ha emekwucha polisi eburu ha, ha emekwucha amị eburu ha, ma ọwa ha na-ekwu okwu Nnamdi Kanu a na-asị ka eso iwu onye IPOB ma ọsọ iwu onye ESN. Na-aghọta ebe m na-eje. Ọ bụghị tata ka nso kwakwuru okwu Nnamdi Kanu otega anyị ji kwuwe, anyị na-ekwuye na redio, na-ekwuye na soshal midia, na-epostu pikcha anyị na ya. Amami na-aghọta edeche bịa gwa m the constitution where it is written in the constitution si na nso okwu ekwukwere okwu Nnamdi Kanu, ma where it is written in the constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria si na nso okwu ewekwele pikchọ gị na pikchọ na Nnamdi Kanu tikọta ọnụ tinye na soshal midia. Na-aghọta ebe m na-eje, maka na achọpụtara m na most of the people ndị ụjọ na-akpụ ọwa ignorance of the law. There is nowhere it is written in the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as at today. Na-aghọta ebe m na-eje. So anyị ga na-ekwu okwu Nnamdi Kanu, na-ekwu ewute akpụ obi, na-ekwu ewute moral. Onye ọ na-amachighị ọmachi nwanne ya ihe, onye a na-achọghịkwana ịmachi na-amachighị nwanne ya gị lee the nearest transformer nọ n'akụkụ ya dị unu jee nga ahụ faa gị isi gị n'ime ihe mgbe ọkụ na ya, ọwụhụ mgbe ọkụ na-anọghị ya. Ọ nọ nso kwa na-ekwuye, ana m ekwuye with my full chest 1,000,000%. So this woman a na-akpọ Lolo Nneka bidole werezie Mazi Nnamdi Kanu na-eme content dịka nke a na-akpọ udele, jikwe Nnamdi Kanu na-eme content. Amami na-aghọta ebe m na-eje. Gịnị ka ọ na-akọ? Ọkọrọla elu, ọkọrọla n'ala. Yesterday I was listening to interview emere na Voice of the People 90.3 FM nọ na Lagos. Enwere another radio 90.3 ọ na Lagos ka ọ nọ, Voice of the People ka a na-akpọ. So egere m nnọọ interview emere ya kọrọla ebe madam enwe ihe o ji aka. Isi na Nnamdi Kanu mere gịnị? O jikwa enwe nwaanyị one small girl ya na ya dịkọ na mma, enyi ya nwaanyị, enyi this and that. Ma Nnamdi Kanu achụghị nwaanyị, nwoke ka ọ ga-achụ? No, I want to ask now, Nnamdi Kanu ọchụghị nwaanyị ọ nwoke ka ọ ga-achụ? Otu m nọ gbula aka ga-esi na nso nkwa na-achụ nwaanyị na-achụghị nwaanyị ọ nwoke ka aga m achụgasị nwoke na no asami na onwe ihe ọ na-akọ ha ọkwa ka akọtọ aha Nnamdi Kanu, ka a tanishie the image of Nnamdi Kanu. Nwaanyị akọga nnụ inyo juru ya ọnụ. Onwe ihe nwaanyị a na-akọfọ hụ na redio, onwekwa ihe nwaanyị a na-akọfọ na soshal midia. Ya were Nnamdi Kanu na-etrend je, were Nnamdi Kanu na-eriri je ego Facebook, were Nnamdi Kanu na-emere je monetization. A na-eji aha Nnamdi Kanu. I thank Nnamdi Kanu for feeding her and ndị ọzọ na-eji aha ya trend na soshal midia. I thank Nnamdi Kanu for making sure that at least there is food in her table, on her table. Because we eji ha Nnamdi Kanu trend ya, agri ga-egbu ya, gbuo ụmụ, gbuo family ya. Amami na aghọta ebe m na-eje. Now let us look at this very very. Ọ bụrụ na ndị Igbo ka ga na-akọtọkwa Nnamdi Kanu nọ na mkpọrọ, then ndị dị otu ahụ enidiri ka enyo ha enyo. Ọ bụrụ na iwe onye Igbo gị ka na-akatọ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has sacrificed his freedom, sacrifice ya freedom ya because na ọchị ka ala Igbo dị mma, because na ọchị egbu ule ndị Igbo, because na ọchị ihe nnumege ndị Igbo ara mma, marginalization nnumege ndị Igbo ara mma, because na ọ bụrụle freedom ya, sacrifice ya. Ọ bụrụ na Mazi Nnamdi Kanu chọrọ ịpụta taa, ọchị ịpụta tudo ọ ga-apụta, ọ dịkwa ama because o nwere ihe edere nye si just sign ya and be free. Ya si na ya sign ka ihe eji ama odogwu, ihe eji ama dimkpa. Any man, any woman si awughị onye Igbo ya were Nnamdi Kanu akọtọ, ya were Nnamdi Kanu afọtọ, cheki onye ahụ very well, cheki DNA ya. It is not an Igbo DNA running in his or her veins. Asị gị cheki ya very well. Onye ọbụla ji Nnamdi Kanu etrend na-akparị Nnamdi Kanu, akọtọ Nnamdi Kanu, chekie ebe atụmara ime ihe, chekie ọbara gbara ya n'ime ahụ, chekie ọbara ejiri kpụọ ya, chekie mmiri nwa kpụrụ ya ni ọwụhụ mmiri nwa onye Igbo kpụrụ ya. I keep saying this and I look otu am nọ now, what I believe in I will defend it. Anything I believe in I will defend it. Emegbuge ndị Igbo emegbuge ka wee emegbuge ha anyị, emegbuge anyị. Eji arụrụ ala sọ anyị na Nigeria ka weji arụrụ ala sọ ndị Igbo. Eji arụrụ ala sọ anyị. From the day created in this country, from the day of amalgamation, Frederick Lord Lugard mere amalgamate Nigeria na 1919 or 1914 ka ogede ka o chịkọtara mgbago ugwu na ọdịda ugwu chịkọta ha ọnụ. Nigeria, the south and the north has no business coming together. The north and the south, the northern protectorate and the southern protectorate has no business, has no cultural inclination. They have no common common tradition. They have no common lifestyle to be together, to be jam-packed together, to be married together in an unholy marriage. They have no business. The mistake was amalgamation of Frederick Lord Lugard. That is the mistake. That is the very found. Achịkọtala onye ọbụla ọnụ. Ndeke sorola n'elu, ndeke asorola n'ala, ndeke korola n'elu, ndeke akoro n'ala, ndeke ekperela n'elu, ndeke ekperela n'ala. Onweghị onye aga ibia aga n'obodo abụ Nigeria. And somebody is telling you that this kind of problem is the reason why ndị Igbo are being marginalized. They are becoming popular by defamation, becoming popular by Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu. Because in Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu, ndị ọwụ ga-aya ndị ile gị ha na-akụrụ gị aka. To you people unu chi na onye ọbụla kwuru okwu Nnamdi Kanu, maybe ikele Nnamdi Kanu, ma ọchị na Nnamdi Kanu mechiga ama, then onye ahụ ka Nigerian gọọmenti ga-eburu, onye ahụ ka a ga-akpara, onye ahụ ka a ga-eme nke a mee ya nke ọzọ. And I want to tell you, na ọwa ashị. Nnamdi Kanu can never be forgotten. Actually, ime ka ị mara ya. No matter some people think that a ga-echefu ya, na ọ gaghị na prison echefuo ya, ọwa ashị. Onye ọbụla nwa afọ Igbo enweghị ike ichefu Nnamdi Kanu. So ọ bụrụ na plan ndị a na-esi ige ọgbaghara, na-esi ige rubbish talk and rubbish this na-trend gari na Facebook with aha Nnamdi Kanu, ọ bụrụ na plan unu na ogugo egoro unu to be tarnishing the image of Nnamdi Kanu, wụ ka ndị Igbo kpọ Nnamdi Kanu ashị. The more you tarnish his image, the more the Igbo people love him the more. Go to Sokoto prison and see what is happening there. Nnamdi Kanu has taken over the sponsorship of education of most of Omo, ndị Hausa, ndị Fulani, ndị Ugwu, ndị Yoruba, ndị nọ na prison with him. He has taken over the sponsorship of Ekwuru Muhongo School. Most of ndị staff na Sokoto nga ahụ, most of them, mande wade, mande narụ nga, gbogbo tigbo, abịa ha eburu problem ha, butere Nnamdi Kanu. Every month Nnamdi Kanu na spend not less than 20 million. Ihe na agwa gị fact, I'm not telling you, ana akọga ha nga akụkọ. Every month n'ime prison, Sokoto prison here. Ole ndị ga-enu gie, ọhụ ndị ugwu ga-enu gie. Ndị ugwu one self, they are not saying, now wow, this is not even what they thought, that these people say that this man is an evil man. This man is a bad man. This man is not a bad man now. This man is not a bad man now. Every month, a new list of the wants and the needs and the desires of Ndugu na prison nga. Ụmụnna anyị ndị Igbo ji ego ha bịakwa ha na sponsor. Every month, otu aka Nnamdi Kanu akwụ school fees, akwụ rent. Recently, na anụrụ m na some of ndị ugwu na-arụ nga ahụ, ndị lụrụ 3 wives, 4 wives that want to marry more. They will come to Nnamdi Kanu and say, Kabada, I want to marry another wife. Oh, I want make you help me. Oh, I want make you help me. Oh, and he is doing it. He is helping them. He is helping them inside the prison. Somebody anụrụ nga na-akọgheri na-ataja sono ekwugheri because o nwere ndị kwụrụ ya ụgwọ shiakwuminyo against Nnamdi Kanu. Whether you like it or not, Nnamdi Kanu remains somebody that every Igbo man respects till tomorrow. Nnamdi Kanu can the governor anyị mma 1 million times. Ọ ka ndị senators anyị mma 1 million times. House of Rep members ọ ka ha mma. Ọ ka ha mma ndị akpọrọ ndị leaders of ndị Igbo, ndị agra, ndị ojiakpa eli ozu, ndị rere ụmụnne ha tọrọtọrọ afọ shishi. Ọ ka ha mma nwune. Ndị ka anyị will continue to say it and trumpet it. That ruo kwechi and forever. The name of Nnamdi Kanu onweghị onye ga-ehichalie. Onye ọsọkwara gị wụrụ. Onye ọsọrọ gị wụrụ, there is nothing you can do. That man has sacrificed. Ọnọdụ ka otu nọ nso nkwa n'ugbulaka. Uburole ke Bruham Nimo State. How many times ke Bruham Nimo State here? Hey, Bruham 2023, abi? 2023, Brum Gabuja. Na kwa 1 month na sell. Even mbekoto shito hapum. Government ebe ewere go pia nyuo ha anya. Ashe domienga. Emegele Chineke ewere kwe na amami ihe ndị lawyer. So kwenu ha. Mayo. Gịnị ka na nso kwa mere 2023 jiri bu ya ga Abuja. Na asịrị na egbu ụlọ ụmụnne nnọ. Unu eyuzule ndị ebube agụ egbuchi ndị youth Imo State na ndị Imo State youth agwụla. Ọbụla ihe ọjọọ nọ nso kwa kwuru eburie. 2025 chi kpọtarala anyị ndị IDP from Borno, from Adamawa, from Sokoto, ebute ha n'Imo State na ehime mba nnọọ nga. Kama school actually school structure enwere for school ekwesịrị iji eme ihe ejiri ehime nga ahụ achọghị iwere ndị IDP from Borno, Sokoto 87,000 IDPs butere anyị na ehime mba nnọọ nga. While I can arịa ndị herdsmen, I can arịa ndị Fulani, I can arịa ndị gbaga ọkada, ndị ugwu no juru everywhere. Achọkwa isi ebe buta ha anyị another 87,000 IDPs. Nọnso kwa shi na anyị aga ekwe. Ọhịa nọnso kwa kwuru 2024. Ejiri buru ha ma ọzọ krom piam. Kọbaga m na magistrate ha na arụkọ. Ha remand am na prison. Ma nọ nga ahụ 2 months. Ruo taa ha bịabeghị gwa court ihe nọ nso kwa mere ha filebeghị charges ihe ha si nọ nso kwa mere ruo today. Nke ka m ji mara what Nnamdi Kanu is passing through. Even na nwake ha mere ememe sef ewetachara akwụkwọ shi just sign ya kwuo this and that, you know, ka anyị na gị rụkọ ka anyị na gị nwee ka anyị hazie this and that and this ma jụwa isi shi kama ya ka m tọ nga nke m ka m jiri mara nke mụa ka m ji mara ihe Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gabigaga. So if you have not passed through that tunnel before, if you have not passed through this road now, Mwa passrela, and then Nnamdi Kanu passiga, you will not understand. Many of you ne kwinyon dia, owurunu, even the day brulunu self kunu ga jun mennu, jun nannu, juaham bago, juaham mago, shiha ula hakurunga, ni prele. Many of you ne kwinyo against Nnamdi Kanu. Many of you ne kwinyo, apara na apara. That day na apara even unu ga no na moto nga shi weta akwụkwọ we sign ya. Ashi mbata ga nyege gishi mbe enyele ge go just ha hapụ ga elama ọkwa inwere nwanyị ọkwa inwere ụmụ this and that, but Nnamdi Kanu ele ha anya ụmụ ole ha anya nwanyị na nso kwa ele ha anya ụmụ ya ole ha anya nwanyị ya ole ha anya nne na agata na ebe anyị na-eje. So if you are somebody like that woman, kwanyere onwe gị ugwu, o nwere okwu ọzọ nkara ikwu na mgbede abata oge adịrọ maka okwu ahụ mbọchị nta anyị ga-achọrịrị ya n'Owerre nchi.
Chimezie, she is actually not directly attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, she wants to attack everything that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has done in the past. Everything that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has built. All the structures of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is what she is attacking. You know why? Because of Bianca Olowu. Bianca Olowu is the major reason why all this is happening. Now, Bianca Olowu was given foreign affairs minister. Some of you didn't ask question why. The reason why they made her foreign affairs minister is because of Simon Ekpa's upcoming case, and they know Simon Ekpa is going to be free, and they know Simon Ekpa will come and defend this mandate. So the Nigerian government has played their last card. They don't know what to do. So they are now using women to make sure that they attack what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has done by fighting Simon Ekpa codedly. They are telling you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the prison, causing confusion everywhere. Ask them, how is a man giving order from prison to constitute nuisance outside when Simon has been removed? What is the harmfulness of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that is incarcerated far north? You find out that they are not attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are attacking Simon Ekpa that is coming out to defend the land of Biafra. And Tinubu, being a very strategic and a very smart and intelligent criminal, now use Bianca Olowu, put her in the upper echelon so that when the need arises, they will push her to go and fight her own brothers. They don't want to put the Yoruba man there. They don't want Hausa to be involved. They want you to be the one fighting yourself. Just like, what is he called now? The former president of Nigeria said, Obasanjo, use Igbos to fight Igbos. That is what Tinubu, that is the strategy of Tinubu. Very intelligent and smart criminal. That is what he's doing. So Lolo Chimezie is not directly attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He's attacking the structure of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, attacking everything that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have believed in, have built over the years. That is what she's attacking. And we're not going to watch that to happen. We're not going to sit here and watch that happen. Let me tell you people this, and I mean it from my heart of hearts. Any one of you that becomes an impediment to the total restoration of the freedom of Biafra will be crushed. And I wasn't mixing words when I said it. Any one of you, starting from Lolo Chimezie, Imam Madabu, Ogen Kere, Bianco Lowu, that becomes an impediment to our total restoration will be totally crushed. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what you do. The God Almighty sees the heavens and the earth from where he's seated. So we will ask him to crush all of you. It doesn't matter. So this is why I came here to tell Biafrans. This woman is not attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu directly. He's attacking everything that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has believed in over the years. Thank you.
Bandits are at the edges of Yoruba land.
Yes.
Bandits are conquering territories.
Yes.
Kwara is under siege.
Yes.
What's going on?
Honestly, I didn't expect that I would have to comment or discuss the current government or what is going on under the watch of Tinubu. For two reasons. One, very personal, and second, philosophical. Maybe sometimes you get to a stage in your understanding of people and events that you think commenting or talking about them will be a waste of time. I mean, you have somebody who is probably defecating on the streets or urinating about this, and you know that more than 1,000 people have told him, stop urinating here, and the person continues. So you, as a wise elder statesman, you don't want to comment on that anymore, because what do you want to say that is going to be different from what 1,000 people have said, and there's been no change? But I respect you as an intellectual broadcaster, and all the leaders of the APC, all the prominent leaders, said it publicly that they invited bandits into this country to drive away Jonathan. So the bandits we have, by their own admission, were created by the APC, were enhanced by APC, were influenced by APC, that's why they will say, some APC leaders or the agents will say, bandits are our brothers. When they repent, we reabsorb them. They told us that they brought bandits. They told us that when bandits needed women, they went to Chibok and gave them 360 girls.
Did they say that?
Go and check research. There was no way 360 girls would be taken away from anywhere on earth without government involvement. It's not possible. The logistics. How do you take 360 people from a school, whether in the night or in broad daylight, without agents of government being involved? It's not possible. And we've had Abacha several times being quoted that when insurgency lasts more than a week, government has a hand in it. There's no way where are these insurgents, all these bandits? How could they transport 360 people? How could they? The buses, the whatever, the logistic. Where would they take them to? How would they feed them? How would they close them? It's just not possible for a small organization like bandits to take 360 people. So it was facilitated by people in power. There's no doubt about that. So now the APC is still the government in power. It's difficult. It's difficult for them to chase away their children.
Is it intentional, or it has gone out of their hands?
Out of control.
If they brought it.
Yes, it was. I mean, Rufai told us when he was still a leader of the APC that that they also paid them, said, please go back to where we brought you from. That even when they paid them, they still refused to go because they enjoyed the patronage they've had, and they continue to stay. And of course, anytime they kidnap or anytime government gives them money, they're empowered to bring in more people. And then Buhari went to Cairo and said all Fulani anywhere in Africa should come to Nigeria. And like I said in one of my commentaries, when he was inviting Fulani from all over the world or from all over Africa to come to Nigeria, he was inviting poor, wretched, criminal Fulanis.
What we are saying is state police, community police, they are not the solution to our problems. Let us be honest to ourselves. It is failure of leadership. The president is the solution to this problem. It is time for the president to act now. The country is going down. If you look at the social media everywhere, drums of war, civil war is gradually moving. You see Muslim clerics, Christian clerics preaching hatred. You see people talking about tribes anyhow, garbage in, garbage out. If you put an incompetent person to head a place, it will not bring good result. So why are we keeping people if we know there is no good result there? So Mr. President, is it the dividend of democracy that we are talking about? Killings every day? What kind of a country is it? What is the value of human life in Nigeria? What is the value? We should ask ourselves. Killings are taking place everywhere. We don't care. It is the primary responsibility of government protection of life and property. APC convention, the police mobilizing 5,000 people in the place that is no more than 5 hectares. They are deploying helicopter. Throughout the killings in Plateau, did they deploy any helicopter? Did they deploy 5,000 policemen? How many policemen? How many hours did it take? When we come here, we talk. They say we are against government. What is against the government? If government is not doing the right thing, we will continue to talk. It is time for the president to act. He should sack the people that are not competent. He has said it so many times. There are some people that are not competent. Today, a lot of injustice taking place in Nigeria and we are keeping quiet. We must address this insecurity. If we don't address it, we will wake up one day and we'll see civil war, or we'll see everywhere is blocked and people are being killed. We can continue to come here and be reading motions, passing resolution, 1 minute prayer, take emergency. These are the things that we've been doing for more than 2 years. What is the solution? The solution is on the table of the president, and it is time for him to act. Anybody can be a victim of what is happening. That is my route. I always go to Bauchi through that road, and I don't even carry more security men, so anybody can fall victim of what is happening. Mr. President, the amount of energy, the amount of resources our security agencies are deploying on politicians is enough to solve some of this problem. The kind of resources, the kind of people they are putting on politicians is enough to solve this problem. If it was political rally or what they say, you will have seen so many people there. We have seen helicopter, or you have seen policemen there. Some people that are not competent surrounded the president, and they are giving him wrong advice. Wrong. Some people that don't even mix with people. Some people that are cooled down somewhere in the small place. They don't listen to people. We are representing people. We always listen to the people. They call us. They tell us what is happening. So people, you don't even have access to them, and they are the one advising government on what to do. We will continue to have this problem. And if this thing is a democracy we're creating, I have no this thing. I can one day stand here and resign, or I can put up anything. That is not, what is the dividend? Every day this thing. Mr. President, as a solution to this, we must place value for human life, even if it is 30 million, even if it is Muhammad, so that once they kill somebody, the government has to pay that money. Maybe if they look at the amount of money they are going to be paying every day, I think it will make the government to sit up. In Zamfara, just yesterday, about 14 people, this thing. If you charge the government to be paying 50 million for each soul, I think the government will wake up. We can't continue. Our people are being killed every day. They are being buried like garbage. You look at the people in the hospital, they are there, left on their own. So what is the value? We must ask ourselves, what is the value of human life in Nigeria? And every day, we keep seeing headsmen, Fulani, everything they call it. Arrest the people. The work of the security is not even mobilizing. It's to prevent these things. It's not about telling us that after the crisis you have mobilized something. It's not the work. So we are here every day. We bring motion, we bring things. It is time. Everything is on top of the president table. A lot of things are going on, and he has to take action. If he doesn't take action, these things will continue to take place. This thing is something that we can solve. We have people that can solve this problem. But because of hypocrisy, because they don't have godfathers, they are being relegated to nothing. Today you come to the police are demoralized, not discipline in the police, because you create a special promotion that you keep promoting people that are giving money, people that are close to politicians, people that are close to you. Whereby some people are there in Maiduguri fighting Boko Haram, fighting so many things. Even their allowances are not paid. Somebody is sitting in the office every month. You are giving his special promotion, giving money. Without the police, we cannot achieve anything. No country will progress under democracy without the police. And there is no discipline there. The morale of the officers totally down. There was an officer that called me. He said because of that special promotion, he felt like joining Boko Haram. He said that is what he felt. And another policeman that met there's another policeman that met Senator Allah. What you told Allah, you can confide on that Allah because of this injustice that is taking place. A lot of injustice is taking place in the country, and we are not addressing it, and we are thinking that we'll have positive result. It's not possible. We are not the only country that have God. Every other country they are praying to God. Every other person they have God. We should do the right thing. We can't be blaming God. This will happen. We say God. Prayer will not solve the problem, but we have to do the right thing. If we don't do the right thing, we'll continue. Unless we don't care with our people. You can hear the narratives of the DSP when he was talking about American citizens. If one American dies, either in war front or anywhere, they will spend anything to go and get that dead body. They can spend anything. They can protect it anywhere. He doesn't have to be in that country. Any country, they will move there to protect their person. Do we do it? Instead, even the people that are doing the right thing, we want to eliminate them. We want to seal their mouth. Which country is this? We have to do the right thing. If not, I see no reason why we'll continue to be talking about democracy when there is no democracy. The democracy is about respect to the rule of law, to the constitution. Do we do it? Do we respect the constitution? Do we respect the rule of law? Do we do it? So which one are we practicing? Why are we sitting here? Is it that all of us, we don't have work to do apart from this? We should try and form any kind of government that want to, but the democracy is not working. It's not working. If this is democracy, then it's a shame. This is not democracy. Democracy is something that at least the people will be protected. People are not protected. affected now. Mr. President, I just have to just sit down. It's not about passing resolution. It's about acting on those resolutions. The people surrounding the president should not look at the National Assembly. Even if they don't want us, let them look at what we are saying. Let them implement the good thing. You can decide to say you don't like me, no problem, don't like me. But the thing, if what I'm saying makes sense, do it. Do it. And this is the result of what is happening. This is the result. Because of few individuals, we have compromised democracy, we have compromised our security, we have compromised everything. When people make statement to say, do this, they will say it's enemy. Anybody now giving his own advice to the government, before you know, they say you are an enemy to the government. Is government not, is democracy not a government that people will advise? Because it's a representative government. It's government represented by everybody. We have every right when we're sitting. And when you are there, it's just like football. If you are inside, you will not see the mistake, but somebody that is outside will see the mistake, and that is the time maybe he will provide solution for you. So they are there. They will not see the mistake. Is it everybody that will get to the villa, or is it everybody that will get to the executive to tell them this thing that we are doing in the National Assembly that cannot solve the problem? 18 months ago, I said the killing will continue, and if they don't act, the killing will continue. It's bad. It's very bad. We are not safe. If you think that maybe you are moving with a sarin, you are moving with a policeman, if they block it, you will be surprised the security men that they are protecting you, they will be the first people to run and leave you. They will be the first to leave you. So we are not safe. We should try and communicate and do the right thing. Thank you very much.
Soldiers of truth, welcome back. Let's get straight to the raw data, because what we are witnessing right now is a historic reality check. Bola Tinubu contradicting Trump. Bola Tinubu is running against Donald Trump. He's acting against Donald Trump, and he doesn't even realize it. He thinks he's playing his usual 2000, after 1999, those local political games in Lagos against fellow recycled politicians, like Atiku Abubakar, Rabi Okwankwaso, Rotimi Amechi, Godswill Akpabio, who don't a lot of them have one time or the other been accused of corruption. So he can play with them. He thinks he can use bribes, backroom deals, and double-tongue promises. That's what he thinks. He'll manipulate his way out of trouble. That's what I'm saying. But Donald Trump operates on a completely different playbook. Trump doesn't care about local Nigerian political balances, north-south. He doesn't care. Trump wants the radical Sharia enablers gone in Nigeria. He wants the people who are killing Christians to stop doing it. He wants the terrorists wiped out in Nigeria, and Trump is completely, utterly out of the depth of Asiwaju Tinubu. 2 weeks ago, on this very podcast, I gave you the precise intelligence. When I came back from Washington, D.C., I told you, and I quote, the MQ-9 Reaper drones are reportedly in Bauchi. As Mike Anor said, these are hunter-killer platforms. My sources in Washington, I told you, confirmed that 200 U.S. troops are already mapping the networks in Nigeria. That is what I hear. That's what I told you. The naysayers, some in our own very comment section, said, he's being too dramatic. They called it a rant. They said Trump has already forgotten Nigeria and moved on, so we should go back and wallow in the criminality. Well, last Friday, those exact MQ-9 Reaper drones, allegedly we hear, struck the evil Abu Bilal al-Manuki, the reported global second-in-command of ISIS. He was instantly neutralized on Nigerian soil by Trump. Boom, boom, boom. That's it, my brothers. This is the Ofion Okwa Show. Again, just before Christmas last year, I openly condemned the Sharia-loving Sultan of Sokoto and predicted an impending U.S. kinetic response against people like him. Hours later, the Trump Christmas present dropped. It hit Sokoto's missiles via a missile strike. On this channel, ladies and gentlemen, the data confirms, the universe listens. And then the drones deploy after that. Let us deal with the lies of the DHQ, of Tinubu's DHQ. Look at the absolute circus happening. my brothers, at the defense headquarters in Abuja right now. Trump says one thing, Tinubu contradicts it. The moment Donald Trump took to social to announce that U.S. forces had flawlessly executed a complex mission to eliminate the man we recognize as the most active terrorist in the world, the Nigerian military, the defense headquarters in Abuja, went into panic mode. Tinubu and his flunkies scrambled to put out statements crying about sovereignty, Nigerian sovereignty, Nigeria is a sovereign nation. Frantically claiming, this is their claim, from Tinubu directly, quote, no foreign soldier was involved in the ground battle against al-Minuk. If you believe that, I will give you the Brooklyn Bridge, free of charge. Tinubu wants you to believe that a weak, compromised Nigerian military establishment infiltrated by ISIS, in my own opinion, that it hasn't arrested Nigerian military or eliminated a top-tier global mastermind, terrorist mastermind, on its own. In decades, Boko Haram killed 350,000. Oh, they will suddenly pull a precision, nighttime, air and land operation against the global deputy of ISIS, who is living happily in Nigeria. Who operated, I want to ask, who operated those Reaper drones, DHQ in Abuja? Those Nigerian DHQs? Let me keep quiet, but I can believe the State Department and Pentagon were having a belly laugh, a massive laugh, reading those Onanuga and all those press releases from Abuja by Tinubu. It is just hilarious. This is the gaslighting of gaslighting. The most gaslighting I've ever seen in my life. So Trump, Tinubu enablers, they freaked out after that guy was killed. The Caliphate North joined in, trying to claim al-Minuki was allegedly killed in 2024. It was. If he was killed in 2024, why was his ghost reportedly living comfortably in the Lake Chad Basin in 2026, where intelligence was gathered? Why did the U.S. military have to release actual strike footage to prove it? Go and watch it. I saw it. Go watch the footage. This footage one candidate was released to counter after Trump started propaganda against Trump, Tinubu's gaslighting of Nigerians and against Trump. The truth is simple, and Asoro cannot hide it. Bola Tinubu, one can see, he was forced to accept 200 US troops. He accepted it happily so that they will leave him alone, so he will remain in power. And drone platforms right after the missile bombing of Sokoto and Sokoto Caliphate.
Oh yes. Very, very shocking news. If you have watched and reached to this extent, we say kudos to you. And it is not easy. In fact, the issue concerning this country, starting from the beginning to the end to this stage, it is something that if you listen to it very well, you'll be asking yourself, are we still in a country? Then, according to what the other senators say, that Nigeria is not a country. In fact, it is not a country. People, they have been debating about it. There is nothing like rule of law, no principle, no democracy, no leadership. Everybody that is there, they are there for their selfish interest. So people have been saying it a lot of time. But what is there is that if you speak it much, the next thing they will now use DSS, use police, and use their security men to come and take you. But the men people they need to take, they don't used to do it. They will leave them and call them their brothers, their prodigal sons. But the people that is speaking the right thing, that is saying do the right thing, and they let people live in peace and in harmony because of their hearing your voice, because of you are telling them to do the right thing, then you will become their enemy. Then they will now pick you, then and silence you forever. In fact, a lot is happening. A lot is happening. We believe and we know that one day, this country, nobody is now praying again for the unity of the country. What everybody is praying now is division of the country. So let everybody go and rest. That is what people is asking of right now. Well, I'd like to comment below. What do you think about the thing going on in Nigeria? Like, subscribe, and share for everybody to see things happening in this country. So thank you for watching.